for more, let's cross to Jerusalem and speak to ABC News' foreign correspondent, Jordana Miller. Jordana, hello to you. What do we know so far about this latest raid?
Well, we know from the Palestinian Health Ministry that at least nine people have been killed, and at least one of them is an elderly civilian. There are more reports coming in just the last few minutes that the death toll has actually risen to about 13, but that has not been confirmed yet. This will go down as the deadliest Israeli military arrest raid in the disputed West Bank since they began almost a year ago now. And though that was a response, this sustained military operation to arrest militants, specifically in Jenin and nearby Nablus, began almost a year ago after a series of very deadly Palestinian attacks on Israelis. As we know, last year, 2022, became the deadliest year on record with almost 140 Palestinians killed and over 30 Israelis. We're learning just now the details of this raid coming in from the Israeli army. It appears they went in to arrest a cell that belonged to Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Three men, they surrounded a building, and intense gunfire erupted and explosives. The Israeli army is estimating at least 6 were killed, though they're acknowledging others were killed, including a civilian, which they're looking into reports of that. Now, the Palestinian president's office condemning this violence, calling on the international community to say something, do something. But it has to be said that Jenin has been a hotbed of militancy over the last several years. And, it all kind of came to a head about a year ago when those attacks started. And not only Israel, but the United States has been calling on the Palestinian Authority itself to do more to police and arrest some of these militants. And the big question everyone will be looking at in the coming hours is really how many civilian bystanders were killed, because even though the majority of the people killed in these raids are militants, we have seen a number of civilians killed, including, of course, the reporter for Al Jazeera, Shirin Abu Akleh, who incidentally was killed outside of this very same refugee camp in this last spring.
Yeah, Jordana, as you mentioned, these security operations ongoing for some time now, and those have dramatically increased tensions there.
Absolutely. And it's something that, has not only called the attention of the international community, Europe, but the United States. And the Biden administration is incredibly worried about the spiraling violence in the disputed West Bank, and some of that spilling over into uncontested areas in Israel. It has to be said that this is one of the reasons that so many people came out to vote and helped bring Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu back to power, including some of his more far-right leaders that he embraced, who were able to campaign on returning a sense of security to Israelis. Having said that, the promises that somehow Netanyahu's government would be able to rein in this violence, it has not been the case. I mean, we are only in the very first month of the year, and already almost 30 Palestinians have been killed, and there have been, they don't get reported all the time, but there have been almost daily attempted stabbing and shooting attacks on Israelis, in the disputed West Bank, and sometimes even over, again, into the uncontested areas. So this is something that Israel's prime minister is going to have to try to deal with, because these raids, as we've seen, continue to be very deadly.
All right, Jordana, thank you for that update. ABC's Jordana Miller speaking to us from Jerusalem.
Thanks.